Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I am feeling a lot better, that's for sure. I say that because my muscles were really flaring up yesterday between the with everything that happened the day before, or I guess I should say the night before. I had to do some heavy lifting at work, and then while I was starting to walk home afterwards, took a fall while trying to escape somebody hitting me. I don't know if they just weren't paying attention, or maybe they thought I was a big snowball walking down the road. I have no idea. So I wear this big, kind of bulky, white alpaca coat, and there's not a sidewalk for me to walk down as I'm exiting my complex that my place of work is in. So I have to be in the road, but there's this like curb with these trees, and somebody's definitely in a mood this morning. She's running around playing, which is fine. I don't care. Let her play. It's just cute watching her. She's silly. But anyway, somebody was coming down the road. I was walking against traffic like you're supposed to and so forth. And they weren't getting over. It's two lanes. They weren't getting over. And so I jump up onto the curb. I wind up losing my footing. And I fell to the ground, head first, basically. And I was trying my best to keep myself upright, but choom, there I went. So I wound up falling on this arm. It's my left arm, and it was my body was a bit stiff yesterday. I did do my yoga for my walk, but as the day progressed, I was getting stiffer and stiffer, and I wound up. Well, I did drink my hot cocoa. Excuse me, made with cacao powder, but I was just getting stiffer and stiffer, and eventually I wound up taking a nap. Felt a little bit better, but still a bit stiff and hurting and so forth. But when I went to bed last night, I was just going to go to bed, but I'm like, no, I'm going to take some ibuprofen, even though I knew I was going to be up within a few hours. I got to bed, it was around 11, something like that. And I wanted to be up at 5, so I have plenty of time to eat, let my stomach settle before I go into work. And I'm like, I knew it would be a risk with still having that chemical basically in my body, possibly making me sleepy, but I do feel a lot better. Glad I did it. Because ibuprofen has a tendency to make me very drowsy, even the over-the-counter stuff. But I do feel a lot better, so it's not so bad. So glad I did do it. Plus I had some potato last night, so I had the potassium from that getting into my body, helping to calm things down. And I also drank some of my, Tulsi, some Tulsi tea, which is very calming as well. So, yeah, all in all, feel a lot better this morning. So, anywho, slept with the window open last night. It was a little bit cool, but not too bad. And it's supposed to be really nice today. I figure I'll keep the window open as long as I possibly can. It's one of the reasons why she's running around, jumping, playing, and so forth, because it's just a really nice morning. Looking forward to having that open, doing my yoga, go for my walk, and everything. It's like, yeah. And of course, I got up early, so I can have some time to do that as well. So, you know what? I'm going to fix this a little bit. There we go. A little bit better. It's a little bit awkward in my hand. Actually, my alarm on my glucometer has been going off since 4, letting me know low sugar, low sugar. Excuse me, eating a little bit of Nutty Buddies here and there. Just kind of been broken up and just munching a little bit. So, yeah, speaking of yesterday with my walk, my box arrived finally. It's only about a week late. But at least I got here, and I was starting to wonder too if maybe it might have gotten here a little bit late because maybe something happened with it during the trip or whatever. But no, there's no way it could have happened. She used a ton of tape, wrapped the whole box. I swear she probably used 2 rolls of tape on it. Fine, I didn't complain. If anything, I thanked her for, making sure that it couldn't have gotten caught in the machine or something like that. Maybe the box, I was worried maybe the box had gotten torn up or something, and nope, not the case. It arrived safe and sound, no problems. And also I got 3 of my card decks back. Felt so good. Oh, that was wonderful seeing them. It was funny because my one card deck I had requested the Slow Tarot. I always do a Celtic Cross with that when I laid it out, and wow, yeah, talk about coming to fruition. That reading, most definitely. It's like, yeah, I see it. I see it. So I always like to do that because sometimes, when you lay it out, it's kind of like, what? At the time, but I always put the cards back in order in the deck, and it's like, yeah, I'll lay it out a little bit later if things were just kind of like, what? But then later on, it's like, okay, yeah, I see it. I see it now. Just, like an affirmation. Actually, it is an affirmation. So, yeah, definitely see it. When I was out for my walk, I saw the albino squirrel there towards the end. Basically heading back home, I saw the albino squirrel. Excuse me. I got a really good up-close view of it, and something's caught her eye out there. I'll have to check that out. And it's definitely an albino, not just one that's, I don't know what else you would call it, but one that's changing colors or anything. It is a true albino with pink eyes. It's all the pink eyes. It's like, wow. It's so cool. And also saw, at first, that basically down there towards the end of the road, it's a cul-de-sac, and there's this wooded area on the east side of the road. Always seeing all kinds of birds, and of course a lot of squirrels. Saw and heard the red squirrels and so forth. And of course the gray squirrels, my squirrely squirrels as I call them, especially the one that's a little bit on the friendly side, doesn't run off, just kind of stays right there. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But down there, I was hearing this one bird, and it was close and towards the ground, but in a tree, and I'm just like, wonder what that is. I kept hearing it. It was kept doing this like chirp or whatever. I'm like, wonder what that is. So I hung around, stopped the timer on my fitness tracker. I keep a timer going with my walks to see how long it's taken me or whatever. But I stopped it, and I'm like, I'm waiting around seeing what kind of bird that is. And finally got a really good look at it. I mean, really good. A little bit bigger than a songbird, like, basically a little bit bigger than a nuthatch. Okay, if you've ever seen a nuthatch, like a white-breasted nuthatch that I saw the other day, a little bit bigger than that, and it was definitely a woodpecker, but bigger than a yellow-bellied sapsucker. And I'm like, So at first I thought, well, maybe a ladderback. So I looked it up. Nope, not a ladderback. And then I'm like, well, let me just, check out a downy. Not a downy. And I was able to narrow it. And of course, I don't have a bird book, so I'm having to rely on the old noggin here with different bird names. And I was able to narrow it down to a hairy woodpecker. Not hairy as in like Harry Potter, but hairy as in, well, the song, "Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair." That kind of hairy. But it's not covered in hair. I don't know why it's called a hairy, but anyway, it's that kind of bird. It's Hairy. Yeah, now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for a while. So, anyway, that was really cool. I've often wondered what they look like when I see them in the bird book. Now I know, and I heard the song that it does and everything, and it's like, But they don't do the pounding like the pileated. It's more like the downies and the ladderbacks and the yellow bellies. With that just kind of like pecking sort of woodpecker. So that's really cool. But yeah, that was really awesome. So yeah, I'm glad as far as my paperwork is concerned. That's basically what I was mostly sending off for was my paperwork. Glad I held off on even doing a quickie. Excuse me, so sorry. I'm glad I held off doing even just a quickie calculation with my taxes because I forgot about some forms that I needed. I know definitely which year I need to do it, and it should be. And I downloaded all the forms, downloaded my statements from that year, and so forth. And I know what I need to. It looks like it's going to be a really quickie calculation. It's not going to be really intense, so might have to do a little bit of extra calculating, a little bit extra claiming on my taxes to help zero myself out so I don't owe that year. But yeah, I should be good to go with everything. I started printing off the forms, but we ran out of paper. So I'm going to have to stop and get some paper on my way into work. Rick has offered to let me use his truck. I haven't driven anywhere since the end of January, so I'm like, I hope it's going to be like riding a bike. It should be. I should be fine. No problem. But, yeah, it does make me a little bit nervous since I haven't driven anywhere since then, and now I'm going to be jumping into somebody else's vehicle, and it's a truck on top of it. But I know I'll be fine. So I told him I'd think about it, especially with how sore I was feeling. I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm not too sure on this. Yeah. But no, I'll just go ahead and, especially with feeling better, I'll just take his truck and use that, get to and from work, especially today, because we are expecting a little bit of rain this morning. I know I just saw it on Twitter, the forecast for today. I've forgotten. I know we're expecting rain at some point and then later on this evening. So, yeah, save myself some money. Oh, excuse me. And I knew I was forgetting to do something else too. I was going to check for my paycheck. It didn't. Or the pay stub. It didn't come in yesterday. I kept checking throughout the day. I was going to check this morning, see if it posted, but it hasn't yet. I know my paycheck hasn't because I get push notifications about my bank account. So I know my paycheck hasn't posted. It's just the pay slip. I haven't seen anything with that posted yet. And I was going to do that before I jumped up on here, and I forgot. So I'll have to make sure I do that. But anyway, yeah, I figured to save myself on some money with Ubers and just use his truck, and then I can take that money and buy a ream of paper, stop off at Walmart to get myself a ream of paper on my way into work. So I'll go ahead and do that. Or actually just buy a ream of paper for the house instead of, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, not for myself. I know I'm going to be using a good portion of it. Not a good portion, but quite a bit of it anyway, with printing out the tax forms, and I'll print myself off a couple of copies for the drafts, and then final for me to write out and send off. So, and I saw they have some envelopes down there, and I think I have some stamps. I'm not too sure. So, but yeah. Get those sent off, and before the 15th, and good to go. So, but yeah, and speaking of Rick and his truck, today's the big day with the surgery, so please send some positive energy that everything goes well with him, especially since it's considered to be an experimental surgery. So yeah. So yeah, let's definitely send off some positive energy his way to make sure everything goes alright. And he's up already. Oh, excuse me, because I know he's got to get the kids. Actually, they don't have school today, but he still keeps Sean in routine. He does, that's my understanding with his autism, he does better staying in routine even on the weekends. He doesn't have to go to school. So let's see here, what else? She's doing great, I'm doing great, the world is doing great. Actually, I was thinking yesterday, one thing I can do, especially with my sewing, because I take an hour off for lunch. I have the option, you can do it either sign up for 30 minutes or an hour. I'd much rather do an hour. So I have that last half hour to give my stomach some time to calm down after eating. But I'm kind of sitting there a little bit on the bored side. Unfortunately, I was trying to maybe do stuff on my phone or whatever, but the internet reception in there is terrible, especially back there in the break room. It's really bad back there. So trying to do much of anything can be difficult. Once in a while I might get a little bit of an internet reception so I can peruse my social media, like I did the other night, but I had to actually be up on my data. There is a store Wi-Fi, it's a guest Wi-Fi, but it can be kind of spotty still yet, yeah. And even the data connection, if you're going off your own data, can be spotty. Back there, it's a little bit better with the data connection because it's right next to an exterior door, but it can still be kind of, hit and miss. But the Wi-Fi back there is really terrible. In the store, a little bit better. And I have to keep my phone with me when I go up on the computer. Like to do my training, my computer training, signing into that, I have to have my phone because they have to send you a SMS code. So, but yeah, I was trying to do all of that, but it's just, not the greatest. So I was thinking, I'd much rather work on my sewing anyway. No, you cannot chew on Mommy's cord. No. Say hi. You want to say hi to everybody? Good morning, she said. It's not like, oh, scratch my butt, Mommy. Scratch my butt. You're such a sticker girl. Yes, you are. You're such a widow stinker, girl. Come here. Oh, don't like kissies. Oh, don't kissy me. She shakes me off. Fine, be that way. I know. She's a silly girl. But anyway, what I was thinking I would do is take my sewing box with me. I think on top of the, I know it won't fit in my locker, now with my pocketbook anyway. I could either take it out and put it into this other thing that I used to use when I was doing the ride sharing and delivery driving, or just take the whole thing with, be done with it. And I believe that there's a rack above the coat rack, if I'm not mistaken. Hi, how are you? You decided to come back? I'm going to kiss you. She's like, no. I'm going to do it. I'm going to kiss you. Oh, she's such a stinker girl. Yes, she is. Yeah. But I'm going to take my sewing with me and work on that last half hour. Yeah. That sounds like fun. Nice and relaxing. That's what I want with my life. I'm tired of all of the out there in the world. So I'm going to take my sewing with me. Oh, speaking of in the world, almost forgot. Oh, here she is with her beautiful self. She's such a beautiful girl. Yes, you are. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. Anyway, before I run out of time here, I'm trying to get back to 30 minutes. My videos have been lasting a little bit too long here lately. Speaking of the black chaos in the world, the court case with that domestic violence situation that I witnessed before, just before I left, finally was able. There's an external link, actually, a couple of external links that they added for you to be able to click on, so you could see the minutes, see who was present at that hearing, and so on and so forth. So anyway, because before, if you recall, with the previous videos, it was kind of like the jumbled up gibberish or whatever, shorthand or whatever, with what they were posting with what happened with the attorney's waiver, that hearing. So I was able to finally see the minutes with what happened with that and with yesterday's hearing. And so, yeah, his original attorney was dismissed, but he does have another attorney. So this one is a criminal defense attorney. So we're talking serious business here. He is going to go all the way. I don't know what the other guy's background was, his original attorney. But this guy, he has some experience. He's been doing it since 1998. So, yeah. So, he means some business. So, I have no idea what the game plan is going to be or anything. But I did see that the initial arraignment, that of course was continued, and that's going to be heard tomorrow, actually. So I'll have to do an update on that. His new attorney did request last week. That's right, because that's right, with what I was reading, and why, another reason why I was confused. I guess there was a misfile or whatever with the original attorney with putting in the waiver. So I guess everything was corrected or whatever. And with what had happened yesterday, basically, that hearing was canceled. So yeah, it was that's why things were a bit. One of the reasons why things were a bit confusing, especially with trying to read all the shorthand. It was just all very, very confusing. So yeah, there was some sort of a misfile or whatever with the clerk, but that all got straightened around, and so yeah, and his new attorney had requested a continuance so he could have opportunity to review the case and so forth, and it was continued until the 10th, which of course is tomorrow. So we'll find out what happens. And hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's he's got up his sleeve with everything. But yeah, either way, he means some business with this new defense attorney. So I don't know. Maybe he'll be able to, after reviewing everything, maybe he'll be able to let him know, hey, look, you ain't got a case. You know, let's take the deal or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe his original attorney was giving him bad advice or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens with everything. All I know is it wouldn't be in his best interest to continue pursuing whatever it is he's trying to pursue. But that's the whole point of defense attorneys, to try and make sure that your rights are being exercised as much as possible, to at least get your sentence reduced. If not, be found not guilty for one or more technicalities because of your rights not being properly initiated or whatever. So, anywho, that's what's going on there. Otherwise, yeah, I can't really think of much of anything else that's going on. I mean, yeah, there's other stuff that's going on, you know, like with me personally or what have you, but it's not anything I really care to share. So, you know, of course, like, well, one thing I don't mind sharing, just going with the flow, figuring things out with how I want to proceed with my life, you know, like career-wise and so forth. But yeah, sure, but as far as, you know, like personal is concerned, not really looking to share any of that. No, I don't have anybody in my life, in case you're wondering about that. As far as anything, I don't want to say anything. I don't have anybody really in my life. But as far as making decisions in that arena is concerned, nothing really happening, going on, or anything. But I don't really care to share any of it anyway. So, anywho, she just picking herself. That's what I mean. She is such a diva. Such a little diva girl. She's like, what'd you do that for? Because I felt like it. She's such a little stinker. Love my girl. I just love my little girl. She's such a sweetie. Yes, she is. Do I pick on her so much? Mommy. She's like, yeah. Ooh. She's such a little stinker. Anywho, yeah, like I was saying, not really anything going on in that arena at all whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, I'm still waiting for an answer from my friend, but I don't know. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm just kind of playing things, see what happens. But that's the only interest I have. So, that's what I was trying to say. But anyway, I am going to get myself moving so I can do my yoga and go for my walkie and everything. Get myself ready for work. Made some fried chicken and cut up some potatoes into cubes. Threw some olive oil on them and some seasoning, basically salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, and oregano. Stirred it up, threw it in the oven for an hour. Awesome. It was really good. So, but that's going to be my lunches and dinners for the next couple days. So, until I can get groceries and, yeah, sounds good. Alright, I should get going. I'll talk to y'all later. I love you.